Australia has one of the best COVID testing rates in the world, but with community transmission rampant in Victoria, cracks have emerged in the system. Tonight, angry families who say some test results are too slow and others are being lost.
I isolated for 3 weeks and the government couldn't get my COVID results back.
I didn't even think that you could be refused, to be honest with you. I didn't think that you could be turned away.
It's a waiting game, and for some, a long, tiring and tedious one at that.
Test us, whether we're showing the symptom or not.
Spiro Vasilakis is a broken man. Less than 2 weeks ago, his mum died after being diagnosed with coronavirus in St Basil's aged care. Now he is holed up inside his Melbourne home, self-isolating, waiting for his COVID-19 test results.
What's going on here? What's happening? I just buried my mum. And now what?
It gets worse. His father-in-law, wife and youngest daughter have all tested positive to coronavirus, and it wasn't easy for them to get tested.
My wife went and got tested. She went along with my 2 daughters to get tested, and they got denied.
After they initially got turned away, the women were forced to lie at a second clinic just to get a test.
And they said they got a sore throat. And there's your results. There's 2 of them that are positive. One's asymptomatic and one's symptomatic.
We're concentrating on positive cases and finding the minutes and hours to track them rather than accounting for all of the negatives.
For Spiro, it's day 4 and he's still waiting for his results.
Regardless of what my tests come back now as, the point that my wife is positive means that we all have to self-isolate here. But I would like to know, am I positive? Am I negative?
I did the right thing, and if I have to isolate again, I will.
Before the second lockdown, there was a testing crackdown. Hotspot suburbs were targeted with door-knocking, tests delivered straight to people's doors.
I stayed in the house for 3 weeks and, we used up all our supplies, and then I had to go to the supermarket.
For Melbourne mum Tanya, she complied, did the test and then waited around 20 days for her results.
For 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, 10 days, and then I started calling.
After 3 weeks chasing her results, someone from the department eventually admitted her test was never processed.
He said maybe they weren't taken, maybe there are a lot of maybes, but it's just not good enough.
So far, almost 1.7 million COVID tests have been done in Victoria. The labs are overwhelmed, but the Department of Health says on average, people are receiving their results within 2 or 3 days. They said they prioritise positive patients and they should hear their results within 24 hours.
It is very important because once you've got the contact tracing going, you can quickly find new cases by testing the contacts and getting them isolated as quickly as possible.
Professor John Matthews is an epidemiologist from the University of Melbourne.
We've got a common enemy and we all win if we are all on the same page.
While many people are doing the right thing, some are not isolating even after testing positive. More than 3,000 houses have been door-knocked and more than 800 of those people were not home. The bad behaviour forcing the government to impose a massive fine.
If you are supposed to be at home and you are not, then you face the prospect of a fine of up to $5,000.
It's a very disappointing situation, and we want to think that we can lean on the government at this time.
If someone just fronts up and they want to be tested, just test them.
Late today, Spiro finally received his test result and says he has tested positive. Anyone who's been waiting more than 5 days for their test result is encouraged to contact the hospital or clinic where they were tested.